Welcome back, everybody. This is Intuitive Tarot. One. Hugs and kisses to all of you. This is a general reading. Any sign can be significant. This could be past, present, or future energy. This could be clarity or validation for others. All right. The entire reading may not resonate with you. So don't make something fit that doesn't. Only you know your testimony. Only you know your story. You know what I'm saying? This is your journey, nobody else's. All right. So whatever part fits, the entire reading may not resonate with you. So whatever part fits, resonates for you, take it, leave it, do what you want with it. All right. Gender is also fluid in tarot. So if I'm talking about a he, I could also be talking about a she. Same scenario. Just flip the roles. All right. But I split the deck on building up the courage to come apologize to you genuinely. Could be a Knight of Cups, because that's what's at the top of the deck. But when I split the deck, that's what it is. And like I said, me showing it to you could look like it's in reverse. So if you could read that way, hey, you the one. But yeah, could be a Knight of Cups. It's at the top of the deck. So somebody could be coming in. They just trying to figure out how to say something, and what that would be. You know what I'm saying? So could be a message about passion, love, you know what I'm saying? Something that is going to restore, and put you back on the right path when it comes to love. All right? Whether this is a new person, for some of you, or somebody that's coming towards you that is a past person. You may have not seen this person in a while, but let's see what it is and what it ain't. All right? But yeah, somebody's building up the courage to come towards you. That's for someone. But let's see what the message holds. What is the message for my collective? Holy Spirit, Holy Angel, show me what I need to see. What is it that my collective needs to know? Energy, what does my collective need to know? Building up the courage to come apologize. This could be somebody that don't apologize often, or don't normally find themselves in the hot seat of having to be the one that have to say something is their fault, or say that they have to take some accountability for their actions. And this may be somebody that doesn't apologize more than likely. Like they not somebody that what I'm saying. Like they somebody that don't normally find themselves being the one that have to apologize. They may be one of them people that feel like it's always the other person. Like it's more than somebody else than them. Like they need to apologize to me, especially if they're trying to save face, or they just wasn't that person that normally is an apologetic person, even though when they know they in the wrong, they just, it could be a pride thing as well. What does my collective need to know? Might go with another thing, What does my collective need to know? Collective need to know. What do they need to? What's the message for my collective? But hopefully you all are doing extremely and beautifully well, staying prayed up. Giving the Most High God, your ancestors, the spirit team, the love and the praise that they deserve. If you have altars, hopefully you are doing your cleansing, giving them their offerings, conversing with them, praying for them as well. Somebody could be rated R at this time, child. Yeah. Can we please start over? Somebody working up the courage to come in and apologize genuinely. All right. But they want to know, can, we please just start over? You know what I'm saying? Man or woman. And be mindful of, you do have some divine feminines that are awakening. Some of them, are coming out of karmic cycles, with lovers, family members, they self know, when it comes to them, breaking through a lot of the illusions and things like that. So some of them are late getting toward or slowly getting toward their divine masculines. You know what I'm saying? So, but somebody wants to know, can we please start over? Anything else on this message? What does my collective need to know? Anything more they need to know? All right. Aaron can be of significance. Someone could be, their name could be Aaron. Somebody could be Black and Korean. Whoever this reading resonates with, be Black and Korean. Someone's name could be Aaron as well. Somebody got selective hearing, child. Somebody hears what they want to hear when they want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? You could be telling them something and holding a conversation, explaining something, and somebody just takes bits and pieces of what they hear, and they run with it, So it's not like they remembering everything that was said. They just remember pieces of it that they feel like is on, you know what I'm saying, that is something that they can explain. They can give, an excuse for. Anything else is like something that they don't remember. Like you will be explaining to you, you know what I'm saying, your head fall off. Your eye, you know what I'm saying? Your eyes turn blue. Sitting up here trying to, get somebody to remember what you said, how you said something verbatim, even if they remember you telling them something about something. It's somebody got selective hearing. Like they hear what they want to hear. Like you don't remember me telling you that. You don't remember I said this or I explained that. I told you about this, or you don't remember that time I texted you and I said this, and I called you and I said it again. No, exactly. They may remember certain things in that conversation that day, or they may remember, what was going on that day that y'all talked about all that day, but not that particular thing, or that remembering it that way. Next card, sex magic isn't working anymore. Avoiding and distant. So somebody was involved with somebody that possibly had them at a time where they were manipulating them with this. Maybe this was their weakness. Maybe this was something that they had some type of low vibrational moment. You know what I'm saying? And they could have been on their journey at this time. I ain't gonna say on their journey, but this is somebody that was able to be easily manipulated because they were in a low vibrational state of mind. In a moment, where they, were in their south node, they were, karmic, or they were being confused. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could have been doing, things to confuse them. You know what I'm saying? Manipulating their crown, like doing things to kind of make them see things warped. Is what I'm hearing. But they also, somebody had a weakness when it came to sex. Okay, so however you want to say it, because this is YouTube, child, so they will, do the damn most. but them involving themselves with somebody that they probably didn't know at one time was into whatever this is when it comes to this sex magic, but it's not working on this person anymore, and this person avoiding them and they distant with them. Whatever it is, it done wore off. Whenever they did this, it has worn off. Like this person probably raising a vibration, or they looking at something, differently now with the hangman. So they probably not feeling, this person like they were, and they probably, kind of confused as to why they were even dealing with this person in the first place. I'm getting this scene where this guy was trying to leave out of they crib, or this, what I'm saying, they were trying to get out the front door, and this girl was wrapped around them and was refusing to let them go, and she got to the point of begging this person to stay and was offering to even give them anything they want, buy them anything they want. The guy was a colored, he was a black guy. The girl was, she may have been Hispanic or Latino. She may have even been, mixed race. But she looked more like, she was like Latino or Asian or something like that. You know what I'm saying? She may have been Hispanic. But he was like, look, I'm finna go. Yeah, he was recording. He was like, I'm gonna have to call, the police or whatever, because this person just won't, release me to go out the door, and I don't want to have to put my hands on her in that way of pushing her off of me, because I know it's gonna be, bad on me because of, what I'm saying, me being a black man and this being who they are. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna look worse on me, even though I'm doing the right thing and trying to, get out the door. And I feel like that's what somebody is like. I'm not saying they in that situation, but it's, getting to that point where somebody's being distant. You know what I'm saying? They avoiding any kind of contact with this person, when it comes to that person, like probably wanting them to come over, or wanting them, to be all over them, or make advances toward them, you know what I'm saying, like they once were when that sex magic was working. And that person is maybe not drawn to them like they used to, and not, easily turned on by them like they used to be. And they may be confused as to why they even were like that with this person, because of the feeling that they getting or had is wearing off. They may not even understand like why they, would even get involved with this person. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like now they, kind of in their head about the whole situation, like all their entire, involvement with this person, man or woman. So it's like the six, but in trust and believe, they are some masculines, they are some warlocks, they are some desperate people that want, to be loved. They don't want to accept rejection. They don't want to be told no. And they, there's some masculines that will do this to a feminine. So, like I said, gender is fluid. If I'm talking about a he, I could also be talking about a she. That, they have been under some type of sex magic from some masculine, to try to bind themselves to this person, or try to keep this person in limbo, to keep them from moving and transitioning out of a cycle, or awakening and evolving in any way. But somebody hear what they want to hear. They don't listen, to what's being said, unless it's something relevant in there that they feel like, they can go back and forth about, and then they'll let it go. Especially if they tell whoever this is, if they somebody that you told something to, and they kind of beat around the bush about what they remember the conversation being like, or they say they don't remember the conversation at all, or they'll come back, or they'll try to say bits and pieces of the conversation, but they really don't want to just give you the whole conversation, because this is somebody that heard what the fuck you said. They remember what you said, but it's certain this person done been used to gaslighting, like saying what they want to say instead of being truthful about what they heard you say. They'd rather put words in your mouth, or manipulate what you said, or what you saying you said, as a way to make it seem like you trying to control the conversation, or you trying to start an argument, or just trying to, cause drama. And this is somebody that'll do that. They'll say they don't like drama, but it's because this person don't like the comeback. Like they don't like you having um they don't like you having, the upper hand. Like if they know you in the right, they'll find something about what you're talking about to they'll find something that they remember you saying, and they'll, give you certain things that you said that wasn't true, even though you done already made that clear you was wrong about that. This is somebody that brings something like that up, all because whatever you saying is factual, but it's like they'll claim they don't remember you saying that mainly because they don't want to talk about it. Whoever this is. Because it's like somebody might ask them something. It's like somebody telling them to repeat something they said, or say that again, what you said, or, or they'll, try to, go back and forth about something that was said. But it's like they'll try to twist your words out of, the fact that they only gonna remember what they feel like, it's good for them. Like if they know it's gonna be something that's gonna put them in the, what I'm saying, in the doghouse, like they're not gonna bring that up. They'd rather just say they don't remember, they don't know what you're talking about. They don't remember you saying that. Who is this that wants to start over? Can we please start over? Who is this that wants to start over? Show me this person that wants to start over and why. Who is this person that wants to start over and why? Can we please start over? Who is this that wants to start over? Can we please start over? Can we please start over? Clarify. Clarify, can we please start over? You got the Hermit in reverse. What's the Hermit in reverse? Can you please start over? Why is the Hermit in reverse? Why the Hermit in reverse? Please start over. What's the Hermit in reverse? Got the Empress at the bottom of the deck. You got the Hermit in reverse and the Five of Wands in reverse. Somebody could have been refusing in the past, before, when it came to them doing their shadow work, like I said. Somebody could have been, refusing to accept, they part in a situation. Like I said, they normally may not have been the person that normally is, that can swallow their pride enough to apologize and take accountability, along with the responsibility for their actions. They may have, been avoiding using their intuition and operating out of their ego. You know what I'm saying? Because they had people that would, not really question that. Maybe they were, aligned with this person because they had some low vibrational things they needed to work on as well that was, toxic or karmic in some way, a lot that this person may have been, used to dealing with, or, seeing a lot of, even if it wasn't in their own dating or family or, day to day. But this is somebody that was refusing to look within. They want to compromise now, like somebody wants to avoid, any kind of conflict or drama. And it could be the fact that somebody may be dealing with people that, or has dealt with a person, people in the past that were just cutthroat. They were like, had hidden agendas and was low down. But this is somebody that now that wants to resolve some issues, some conflict, peacefully. They want to come to some type of peaceful solution, resolve whatever issues that them not looking within, or them not Somebody want to work on something now that they normally wouldn't work on for nobody else or nothing else. This person would literally have people that they, know they not gonna change nothing for, especially if they felt like these people or individuals, have done they due diligence, with them where they did not treat them right, or they felt like that person or these people, fucked over them or something like that, man or woman. But it's one of them moments where somebody feels as though, if I don't get this right, it's gonna be on me because I know I fucked up. Like I know I done dealt with a lot of bad, you know, um, behavior and had a lot of bad behavior and actions that I done displayed, in the same, you know what I'm saying, situation. You know what I'm saying? Like they may have had behavior and actions that done been, you know what I'm saying, throughout, a good little bit of their decision making. Like they may have always found themselves dealing with, some type of toxic karmic, situation, that did not have to be. You know what I'm saying? And it could be the fact that this person now has gotten to that point where they feel like, this is that moment of truth where I may not have never apologized to people, but this is somebody that I know I'm gonna have to, because if I want to get back with them, I'm gonna have to accept, why this person walked away in the first place. Because everybody just can't be wrong, and you can't say it's everybody's fault that they leaving you. You know what I'm saying? It's things about you that could change. I remember hearing the guy say today, a lot of people just gonna have to take accountability for the fact that, it's some shit you need to change, and you letting good people walk out of your life because you refuse to change some things around for them in order to have them the way you have them. And you can't come back to them, or go toward anybody else, without doing that. I mean, you may not want to. It's bottom line. Like if you either want to change for the person that you was, once with, or you're gonna have to make some changes going toward a new person. Period. But either way, the change is gonna be necessary because the new people or somebody new in your life is not going. If you don't open your heart to new love, you still ain't gonna even, accomplish what you need to with the old people or folks you've been around for years, because even they gonna have a moment where they gonna have to change or they gonna decide to. And at this point in time, where we at right now in our life chart on this earthly plane, a lot of us have to change. We have to. You have to. You don't have no other opportunity to do it. You have to do it now. Now. Okay? It's no need in somebody, you know what I'm saying, whoever this is, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, like feeling like, they rather do something they way, and it's not on me, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do this way, whoever this is. It could be a Virgo, but this is somebody that's isolating themselves. And they could be, just not doing very well, when it comes to them, being around people, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, somebody not doing well, but this is because this person is in their head a lot, when it comes to them having to say something to you. Like somebody feels like, with this Hermit in reverse, it's like somebody paralyzed with fear. Like they feel, the conversation being had before it's even had. And the thoughts of, them coming towards you to say something. This is like something that somebody feels and what they want to say to you. And it's like them contemplating what you might say back. And it's very, it's got this person, full of anxiety, whether they admit it or not. It makes them extremely nervous, and they could be, a little shy, and they could be, feeling a little embarrassed even. But it's the thought of, them wanting to ask you. It's like somebody wanting to beg, but they feel embarrassed to even feel like they have to do that because this is where they at right now. And that alone is like them coming towards you and feeling like they need to. This may be somebody that feel like I ain't finna beg. I ain't gonna beg a bit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna beg a nigga. But at the same time, the thought of them doing it because they want this person back or they want you back or you want this person back, it's like, or even facing you. Even if you don't take this person back, it's the fact of them facing you is the fact that they don't want no dispute. They don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? And they feel like, the action that they thinking about taking place is something that is keeping them is keeping their ass stuck, paralyzed, you know what I'm saying, not moving forward. Because they want to compromise, but they want to do it, and come to some type of peaceful solution, but it's like they want to avoid some type of conflict. If they dealing with somebody that they know, let's just say that person got a kid for somebody, and they may be, looking at how they may have to exit this connection and still co-parent and stuff like that. But that parent that the mother or the father of this child or these children may not be comfortable right away with them moving on, and most people not. You know what I'm saying? But it's something they feel like they don't want to happen, and it push you away. So just the thought of it happening could keep them from even coming towards you, because they don't want you to feel like they bringing some drama with them or something like that. But they want to compromise. Somebody wants, to resolve some type of dispute. And it could have been them, having some selective hearing about shit. Like they, remembering and saying things that they remember, bits and pieces of something. That's the result of it. Like, it's some bits and pieces of things they may have, said they remember you saying or something like that, or remembering about a conversation, you know what I'm saying, whether it was on the phone or in person or text. But it's something that somebody now, when it comes to them taking action, they want to, possibly do that without it being something that results in some type of hostility or some type of, argument. Yeah. They want to bring, it's like somebody saying, I'm coming in peace. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring some peace to a situation, to an empress. Yeah. Could be to a baby mom, but it could be, damn. I ain't going to say this is divine, but it could be you got the empress and you got the queen of pentacles. So there is a divine feminine, here. Somebody's a healer. Empress. Could have this person blocked, or they just in their head right now when it comes to the conversation or communication, not being had, or what was said, that and what wasn't said. But you got Virgo out here with the Hermit in reverse, and you got the Five of Wands out here. Leo. Because when I asked, why does this person, who is this that wants to start over and why? And they want to start over, because they, feel as though like whatever they were like in the past, was them, kind of being closed off, and not looking at something, as a whole, you know what I'm saying, on both sides, and like going towards somebody they may have felt like, they pretty much knew what it is they needed to do and what the problem was, but it was the fact of them not taking the action that they needed to resolve it then. And they may have let that shit fester for some years, some months now, you know what I'm saying, knowing that they needed to make something right, but they want to come towards you and possibly apologize, genuinely. But it's something that they got to build up the confidence to do. Because they feel like they already know you going to come for their jugular when they do. What's this Five of Wands in reverse about? Clarify that Five of Wands in reverse. What's that Five of Wands in reverse about? Yeah, balance. Like they want to balance something out. They want to bring some type of peace to a situation. and resolve whatever this dispute, this, situation is. Like they want to, work through whatever this is. Can we please start over? Like somebody, wants to restore, something that was once broken. And it's like now, they want to work with their spirit team. They could be, listening to their downloads and stuff now and being obedient, with doing the right thing and paying more attention, to the messages and the signs, when it comes to them taking charge and standing in their power, but also being balanced. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like at some point this person didn't think that they like I said, they didn't think that they needed to, make any changes, but this is them finding better solutions in a situation now than doing what they did. Maybe they thought going off and isolating themselves and being antisocial or cutting you off and, you know what I'm saying, just being distant with you was the issue. Or, them using that as a way to kind of get a message across or something like that, because it may have worked in the past with other people or whatever they were doing. It's something that was irrelevant. Like that, it didn't need to go. It's like somebody caused something to be complicated for no reason. Now they having to find better solutions, when it comes to resolving their issues instead of doing what they did. Yeah, and it's about self-control. But let's see what's going on with this selective hearing. Clarify selective hearing. What's this selective hearing about? Got the 9 of Wands and the Ace of Wands. With the moon at the bottom of the deck in reverse. So somebody gaining clarity. They finding the truth, now. Whatever was, in the dark is being brought to the light. Whatever was hidden is being exposed. And this is, also talking about suppressed emotions. Where somebody, somebody could be dealing with a fire sign. Capricorn. Somebody, earth sign, could be dealing with a fire sign. Could have air in their chart. And water. The other person could have water. Don't have to be. Because somebody now, is feeling like, they understand now, like, why the passion, or whatever this passion in new beginning means to them. Like, somebody sees now, like, why they, it's like somebody knowing why somebody felt the way they felt. Or why they felt the way they felt. Because I feel like somebody, if they were suppressing emotions, and somebody was suppressing emotions and another person was hearing what they wanted to hear, or hearing something the way they felt like, somebody heard what they wanted to hear. It's like somebody saying, I love you unconditionally. But they miss all the other things that you said, your boundaries consist of, for you to love them like that. Like, I love you unconditionally. And this is, how I am. This is, how I roll. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like somebody, they looking at this 9 of Wands, it's like somebody seeing how resilient another person is when it comes to what they got to go through and some of the things that they may have been challenged with in the past or just in life in general. And it's like somebody has a lot of passion, like they have a lot of, confidence to move forward and a lot of, forward movement and growth. But it's like, somebody they want this passion and new beginning, but this is like somebody knowing that when it comes to somebody going after what they want, like they are going, you can't test somebody that's strong willed because they'll get through anything. And that's the dividing factor of, like, what's that song by Rich Homie? The difference between me and you. Some people, they will throw some, heavy shit your way to make, to cause obstacles and put you in the damn freezer and some more shit. But then they can't fathom, somebody doing it to them in the, in a more um horrendous way, you know what I'm saying, to where it has a bigger impact on them than them doing it to somebody else. And them being the victim, feeling like, oh, woe is me. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, it's like somebody realizing, somebody's strong will, you know what I'm saying, to face challenges, to, like, don't test somebody faith if they stand 10 toes down in it. Because faith ain't meant to be comfortable at all. So if people want to test another person's faith, don't do that, because you're only powering them up. If they somebody that they were supposed to fall years ago and they still took a licking and kept on ticking, stop fucking with them people. Because the more you put them through, the more bullshit you send their way, the more bullshit you wish on them, it's just going to make them, a lot more. It's going to help them ascend a lot more, because they're going to go through and get through whatever it is, because they're used to the uncomfortable shit. They're used to the hurtful shit. And you keep teaching them how to get through it, and you don't never learn from them. That's the one thing you hate, for it to come back around to you. People that dish something out, they hate for it to come back around to them. Practitioners that, that are of the light, they tell people that all the time. Your intentions behind what you do, be prepared for it to not work and backfire on you if you ain't protected and ain't, got that kind of, backing, from your ancestors to make up and carry you through the shit you dishing out to somebody else. Because when they come back around to you, it ain't no telling who it may affect before it even get to you. It may be tragedy that may and downfall that may pour down on somebody close to you or something, and you can't even help them. A lot of backfire don't even come back to the person right away. It come back to the people that assisted you, the people around them, the people around you, before it even get to you. It's made to show you, what your actions, is capable of, what your actions cause. And you got to witness other people in your family on down through, people close to you, people that hang out with you, going through stuff. And you're not going to think one time that you doing some foul shit towards somebody else 2 weeks ago is the result of, this person or somebody around you. And you're going to be with them when the shit pop off. So be careful, what you dish out to folks. Whether it's verbally, whether it's mentally, I'm telling you, it ain't good. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like right now, that selective hearing shit, it's like somebody gaining the truth that they needed to, get out of a situation. Because now it's like, what was hidden is being revealed. And somebody is getting past, that anxiety that they had when it came to them, not seeing something clearly, because somebody crowned, they was not using their intuition, and their discernment when they had, when they were supposed to. And I feel like that's easily manipulated when you don't use it, and you turn a blind eye to what's being said, or you try to act like, you didn't understand at the time what they meant, but you did. You did. And that's what I'm getting. Like if somebody told another person, like, listen, I'm going to be all right. You know what I'm saying? If this don't work out, or you don't choose me, or, we don't talk again or something like that. Like, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to still, get where I'm going. I'm still going to, I'm still going to be that person that feels like I deserve this kind of person, this kind of life, this kind of job, this kind of, life. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to be that person that goes after that. So whether whether you in my life or not, I'm still going in that direction. It's like that. What's the Nine of Wands with the Ace of Wands? What's the Nine of Wands with the Ace of Wands? Clarify. Selective hearing. Got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. The Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Cups. 88 could be significant. 89 can be significant. And 98. You got the King of Swords in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So somebody feel as though like it's like somebody walked away knowing that maybe, somebody not having, they okay. If somebody walked away, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, if somebody walked away and they felt like, you abandoned them or just like moving on, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if somebody thought another person felt like they, were moving on or they didn't want to be involved with them possibly because they felt like this person, may have been a dependency, financially dependent on them or something like that, or they didn't want to be financially dependent. It's like somebody saying, I don't want to be in a connection right now because I'm trying to. They may not have said they didn't want to be in a connection, but they could have made it, been talking about what it is that they didn't have, or what it was that they were trying to save money for. What type of abundance they were trying to acquire. You know what I'm saying? And you may have blocked this person, cut off communication, or they may have felt trapped in a situation, when it came to, what was being said, especially if they put themselves in a bad situation with somebody else, based off what they had going on over here and what they knew you wanted with them over here. It's like that. It's like somebody had two situations going on, but it could have been somebody was dealing with some type of codependency issue, whether it was their codependency issue financially, or it was somebody else's that was dependent on their finances. And they may have felt like, you abandoned them at a time, or you may have felt like, because it's like somebody they could have some abandonment issues. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody could have been dealing with some, some past childhood trauma or some past relationship issues, baggage that, may have resulted in a breakup, a separation, just out of the blue, or, this person could have been with people that, they end up moving in with and boom, they get kicked out. This person this person ain't feeling them and they throw their shit out. You know what I'm saying? Now they got to try to kiss, back up to them and get back in there just until they get their shit together. This person, it's like they've been through that a lot. That's what I'm getting. Like they've been through that a lot. And they may have felt like, them telling you what they had going on, or maybe, what they felt like, your situation was at the time may have been something that made you feel as though they, was looking at it like you was going to be financially codependent on them. You know what I'm saying? Or them looking at how they may have, wanted to get their finances together or something like that. And they had some stuff going on that may have been taking up, pulling on their pocket. To where, they may not have known how to break that down, or them explaining that to you may have been something they felt like, you misinterpreted. You know what I'm saying? Because it feels like, somebody may have given you that, they may have felt like whatever it was that they had going on gave them no other reason, they had no other option but to walk away, like, and move on. Like maybe they tried, to Yeah, I feel like you told somebody, like, you may have told somebody that they finances, or them not thinking that they finances was something you were aware of. Because I feel like somebody, felt like they didn't have any other choice but to abandon, or move on. Especially if financially they were not, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody didn't have an abundance, or they didn't have like a stable foundation at the time. Like they may not have been where they wanted to be at financially, and they may have felt like, whatever they were trying to express to you or say to you about that may have been something that this person, misinterpreted. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody communicates more through action than words. Like they may show you things, or they demonstrate, or they actions, but it has to be both. Like your actions have to be matched with your words. And I feel like somebody at one time, was not where they needed to be at financially, stability. You know what I'm saying? Wise. And they may have felt like, because of that situation, or that going on, like or maybe this was going on with you, like they may have felt like, um, you may have felt like, they were maybe looking the other way, or not considering you or something like that because of your financial situation or something like that. Or them thinking that you might be financially dependent on them or something like that because of, maybe they knew something that you had going on, or they knew something. But this Nine of Wands is giving me somebody that has been through the shit before. Like they've been through some shit. Because it's Eight of Swords is giving me somebody like feeling trapped, like they blocked. Like this person, could have, felt like, whatever however something ended, between you and them, or whatever they had to walk away from and just accept what it is and move on. Like they may have felt trapped, you know, or backed into a corner, because of something that was said or wasn't said. And especially if you block this person, they may have felt like they ain't had no other. They, what I'm saying, like they had to just go on. Because I feel like somebody may have wanted to reach out to you or talk or something like that. They may have thought you were going to change your mind, or that you didn't mean what you. Well, they probably didn't think, when you said that was it, you done with them, or you're not going to converse with them, or whatever the case may be. Like, it wasn't about their finances. I feel like somebody realized, whatever it was, a little too late in the game. They didn't realize, even if they did hear that what they wanted to hear, or you know what I'm saying, they only gonna remember bits and pieces of what you said because they don't want to remember, the conversation or what was said in its entirety. What's this Eight of Swords about? What's this Eight of Swords about? Yeah, Five of Cups. It's about some type of, ending that maybe they was not expecting, or something that they feel, horrible about, with the dinosaurs at the bottom of the deck. Like somebody feels as though like they got something wrong. Like they feel as though like, damn man, not, what I'm saying. Like what the fuck? It's like that's what I'm getting. Like somebody can't. They feel like they can't believe. You know what I'm saying, that. But it's like another opportunity here. But it's like, you have to see it for what it is and go after it. You know what I'm saying? Just because it didn't work this time, like do what you need to do, clear up what you need to clear up, personally, and then, you know what I'm saying, focus on what you're gonna have to face moving forward. But I feel like somebody, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, like somebody is, in a lot of regret. They're in a lot of regret, you know what I'm saying, for how something ended. And the fact that they feel like they blocked, they trapped in a, um, in a situation when they feel backed into a corner now. They could be playing victim, you know what I'm saying? Because they feel like, maybe I didn't do something, right, or I was going through this and you just wasn't, you know, it's like that. Somebody saying like, damn, I wasn't saying it like that, or I wasn't, intending for you to take it like that. It's like that. Who is this doing this sex magic that's not working anymore? Sex magic isn't working anymore. Avoiding and distant. Clarify. Sex magic isn't working anymore. Who is this sex magic not working on anymore? Who is this sex magic not working on anymore? Yeah, you got the Magician in reverse. Whoever this Virgo is not working on them anymore. Um, Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck in the upright. Virgo, somebody dealing with a Pisces. Got the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck with the Four of Pentacles. Knight of Cups in reverse. But somebody sees somebody is very attractive, very confident, that they may have, held back from. With this Four of Pentacles. Whoever this is Virgo. Somebody was trying to control possibly a Queen of Wands, or they were trying to control a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Like Aquarius, you could have Virgo in your chart. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn don't have to be. But whoever this is, they gifts, that they had is not as effective as they used to be. Like whatever they've been doing, this is, whoever they, been doing this sex magic on, they may not have did it, on just this person. They may have been doing this on random people that, they don't want to have, walk away. They use this as a way to control them, keep them around. Clarify the Magician in reverse. What's the Magician in reverse? Sex magic isn't working anymore. Avoiding it. Distant. Sex magic isn't working. Yeah. Somebody being released from this shit. Like, I'm telling you, they preyed on somebody's weaknesses. And this person is releasing themselves from these addictions. Like, they, like overcoming them now when it comes to the things that they know then got them where they at. Like somebody realizing now, like, shit, if I wasn't going after people, and you know what I'm saying, like using this one, you know what I'm saying, thinking that was going to, keep people around, keep people giving, keep people, tolerating shit. They ended up, with that very thing leading them to somebody that, was trying to keep them bound and keep them with just them so they wouldn't be all over the place like how they met the person. If they met this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, like somebody, yeah. If they use their gifts, for dark, if they, were dealing with somebody else that use their gifts for dark, and like two manipulators dealing with each other, it's like somebody ended up aligning themselves with somebody that, they may be promiscuous, the person that did the sex magic or the person that did the sex magic on, Or, if they did some sex magic on you, it's, you avoid it and you're distant. Or somebody did it on them, they're avoiding and they're distant with this person. But the person they may have did this, that did this sex magic, whoever they did this sex magic on, could be a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. It could be an earth sign. Because this person was at their low vibrational moment. Like somebody now, like I said, this person looking at how, damn, like, if it wasn't for me being like this, you know what I'm saying, and dealing with this person like that, like I got people that, or somebody that want to fuck with me for real, but shit, I've been rocking like this for a good little while, and I don't even know how I ended up with this person, or, I ain't gonna say they don't know how they ended up with them, but anybody they've been involved with, even with you, they like looking at how they involvement with them people may have only just been sexual. May have just, and they may have gotten some materialistic things out of it. You know what I'm saying? But that mindset of, going after people maybe because of what they have, what they do for work or some shit like that, and what they into, and they got swept in and got, controlled and manipulated in that way, and somebody took advantage of that person being like that. Especially if this is somebody that was doing it, that did the sex magic. So either way, like if this is somebody that did it to whoever this sex magic was done on, or whoever did it to them, either way, like they used their gift for dart. Like somebody, was not clear in their communication, you know what I'm saying? And they wasn't operating, from a place where, they were using their intuition and using, their throat chakra to say what needed to be said, especially in a genuine manner. Like somebody had like hidden intentions. They were asking, for negative things to come about, in order to get, some type of control over a person. But they releasing themselves from these addictions like this. They overcoming this. Because I feel like somebody, like I said, at one time didn't think how they were operating was really an issue. What's the Magician in reverse with the Devil in reverse? Clarify. What's the Magician in reverse with the Devil in reverse? What's the Nine of Swords? Gemini energy. With the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck in reverse. Gemini. Yeah, whoever this is, they looking at how now, like whatever the communication was, or like how something was shown to them, like in a dream state or something like that. I feel like somebody, ended up being made aware of like what somebody was doing or something like that through a dream state. Like somebody was being shown or got shown somebody doing something or being into divination, like being into some type of lustful divination, when they came to them, or they were shown the error in their ways, and it's like this person done lost a lot of sleep, that had a lot of fear, about, what is being shown to them in a dream state, like what the communication was like, or whatever these situations were that they turned a blind eye to, or they, didn't see. Like somebody may have had all kind of red flags, being thrown in on different plays, and this person just wasn't paying attention. So now it's like somebody, could be healing. They could be going through some type of recovery now from this sex magic, like I said. So they could want some forgiveness for, getting involved with somebody that possibly, or having these ways about them, that, needed to change, and because they didn't, they ended up, getting involved with somebody or finding themselves, under somebody's control. You know what I'm saying? By way of they, what's that song by 50 Cent, Magic Stick and Look Him. If I hit once, I can hit twice. Yeah. Somebody thought they had the magic stick, but then, they stick got possessed. You know what I'm saying? And somebody wanted to keep something, bound and, under their control, you know what I'm saying, until it wasn't. And I feel like somebody now is realizing just how reckless they were. Knight of Wands in reverse. How cold, how shallow, you know what I'm saying? And they had, they got some lessons to learn. You know what I'm saying? They had some things they needed to see. And because, they were refusing to change at a time where, they were getting what they wanted. But like that song said, I'm getting what I wanted. I'm getting what I want. I'm just not getting it where I want it from. So. And I feel like whoever did this sex magic on them could be a Taurus, could be a Virgo. They could have Gemini in their chart. Or a Virgo could be dealing with a Gemini. Libra, Aquarius, like I said. But I feel like, this is, possibly about a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But it's got somebody in their head now because this sex magic ain't working on this person no more. So whoever this low vibrational, air sign is, like somebody feeling some type of way, now that this person in their head about what's going on. This person very distant. But I feel like there's a Virgo that's in their head as well. Like they, fucked up about how what they doing now don't work no more. Like they done did this, to more than one person. Clarify that Nine of Swords. So somebody wants some forgiveness now for letting something that they felt like they had control over really had more control over them than they thought. What's this Nine of Swords about? We're going to close out. What's the Nine of Swords about? What's the Nine of Swords about? Clarify. Eight of Pentacles. Like somebody in their head, because somebody's ascended. Like they vibration is where it need to be at now. Somebody, is vibrating from a frequency now where, they breaking spells, or they, what I'm saying, they being released from the things now that they were avoiding working on. And it's like now this person done got to the point where whenever this sex magic was, whenever this sex magic was working, it was at a time where somebody, had not elevated. They had not raised their vibration, to where it needed to be. And like somebody now, is too far gone. You know what I'm saying? They don't put too much work into themselves for some sex magic to work on them. Somebody dealing, didn't know they were dealing with a healer. Somebody can heal themselves. So at this point, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, like Aries, Leo, Sag, it could be any sign. But I feel like whatever somebody was doing to another person, they vibration is in their frequency. They vibing from a different frequency now. Like they not low vibrational like they used to be. Somebody's not in their head. They not, bothered by what done ended and what didn't work. No more. Somebody's unbothered and they focusing more, on themselves moving forward. But I feel like somebody now that something done broke, this sex magic, this stuff done, done ran its course. It's like somebody now is seeing, just how much damage done been caused, by their actions. And then whoever did this sex magic, they in their head too when it comes to this person not being affected by it no more. And this person done put a lot of work into themselves. They focusing, and invested in themselves a lot now. Like somebody's, being more mindful of what it is that they know they should have been doing in the first place. And it's like somebody saying, man, let me get my ass up and go to work. It's like that. It's like when you done reached your breaking point. And for some of you or somebody in particular, If this person was doing sex magic on you, it's like now this person, is seeing how, whatever they error in their ways were, when it came to them, using something like that. It's like now, them being in their head, with the fact that they being shown, that karmic side of them, what I'm saying? How they manipulated their gifts, how they um, manipulated somebody else's free will, and sometimes, you can't come back from that with somebody's spirit team, let alone the Most High God, because this is that time where you got so many people abusing, you know, newborns, toddlers, you know what I'm saying, for their own ritualistic practices, you know what I'm saying? And it's enough is a fucking enough, you know what I'm saying? So if the Most High God is, raining down terror on those, that have manipulated, kids and youth and stuff like that, just imagine how disgusted and fed up the Most High is, with grown ass people, his grown children, out here being manipulative and, fucking around with people's free will and using their gifts, what I'm saying, to manipulate, other adults, in a sexual manner. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy. Like, it ain't that much. We be saying it ain't that much snakes in the world, but child, listen, apparently, some folks feel like, a damn, you know what I'm saying? If they'll put a hole in a watermelon and get off, them kind of people, you can't think you're going to leave your kids around them. You can't think that person is safe to have somebody, have them, have your child sitting on their damn lap. You get what I'm saying? Like, that shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, this is, not working on somebody mainly because they've ascended. They mastered themselves. They mastered themselves. You know what I'm saying? So if a masculine was using this, to their advantage, at a time, because they were, had some addictions or whatever, or they were in this low vibrational time in their life, you know what I'm saying? We all have been there, but you got some folks that's stuck in that fucking loop. They stuck there. Okay? But I'm going to end it here. You guys make sure you do something nice for someone today, even if you don't know them. Yeah. And this top card says, poverty is this karmic film's fate. And that could be behind the sex magic that they did. Yeah. But I'm going to end it here. You guys make sure you do something nice for someone today. Even if you don't know them, make sure you hit that like, that subscribe button on your way out. Until next time, those of you that genuinely love me, know that I love you too. Mwah. Bye.